Nights were the scariest. Ghosts, skeletons, and spiders would visit her childhood bedroom, leaving her hiding beneath the covers in fear. At school, she knew she didn't fit in. The other girls were mean to her, unkind. She struggled with schoolwork, struggled to fit in, had no friends. Soon, voices began whispering to her, plotting to snare her soul. She didn't tell anyone, afraid of being called crazy. The bullying at school became intolerable. Home, a place of ghosts and voices. So she ran away. To escape the voices, to escape the pain. She was 16 years old. Her name is Amanda Schell. In Toronto, she found a job in a bar and started experimenting with drugs and alcohol. She met a man with a child, and by the time she was 18, she was married. She gave up the drugs, trying to be a good mother to her stepson. And her hallucinations grew more intense. Soon she believed that Jesus was speaking to her, speaking in her head or through her TV, giving her messages that confused her. She was hospitalized, but she couldn't take the medication because she was pregnant. She was released after 2 weeks, and because her husband couldn't find a job, she worked up until she had the baby, hallucinating the entire time. Now her mind believed that God had damned her. What should have been a day of joy was wrapped in pain and terror as she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. 2 months later, she was hospitalized again and diagnosed with schizophrenia. She was 23 years old. The Bible became her obsession. Her self-esteem was shattered. Depression draped her days with its suffocating presence. Because of her medication, she began gaining weight, ballooning from her healthy weight of 105 pounds to 210. When her maternity leave was up, she didn't return to work, and for 2 long years, she gave up on life. She had a second son, but still no joy, no future. Nothing but voices and terror, humiliation and pain. It was the lowest point of her life up to then. It took over a year for her to accept her diagnosis, to believe that what she was experiencing so profoundly was not real. They moved to Squamish, and with the move came a new support network and better management of her challenges. Different medications and new coping skills began to make inroads against the voices. Little by little, their strident tone grew distant and manageable. Years went by, and although progress was measured in micrometers, slowly Amanda's life began to change, to stabilize. She started doing volunteer work. She began learning about mental illness, and soon that interest turned into a voracious appetite for knowledge. She took a course that helped her manage her own treatment, and she started raising funds to expand the local mental health clients' clubhouse. And then, the hardest blow of all. In June of 2002, her beloved stepson, Johnny, drowned. Some people might have given up at that point, most people. But while Amanda grieved fiercely for the son she called her own, she did not sit still. Even while carrying the family burden as her husband grieved, 1 year after her stepson's death, she completed her high school graduation and took a peer support worker course in Vancouver. Today, she coordinates the North Shore Schizophrenia Society's peer support program for the Sea to Sky corridor, Squamish, Whistler, and Pemberton. She oversees the clubhouse program and speaks to any group who will listen, advocating for support for those managing mental illness. She is loved by all those she supports, someone who they turn to, someone they know understands, someone they trust. Because through her long journey in darkness to this powerful place of light today, Amanda Schell has demonstrated over and over that she has the courage to come back.